couple weeks before I'm shot, I called the DEA and I reported a suspected tunnel. I called the El Paso DEA and the Midland DEA, and they didn't look, okay? Because I suspected their tunnel. I suspected smuggling was going on.
Because where we live at,
right behind my home is that Home Depot store, okay? The back of Home Depot. And these truckers are coming 24/7 in the middle of the night, holidays, the store's not open. They stay a little bit and they leave. And so I suspected trafficking, and sex trafficking.
So that is what made you start thinking that there was an underground tunnel.
Well, I was starting to wonder. I couldn't figure out how they were getting in my house because I was locking all the doors. I screwed my windows together. I bolted my doors shut. I was installing cameras, and I could find proof that they were in there. I could hear them in there. I couldn't catch them on camera. I later proved after I was shot that they were hacking the cameras. And so now, after I was shot, that I started hearing calls on my police scanner for other people reporting people in the attic. And it wasn't one of them; it was a bunch of them. I've got it over probably a dozen from Midland and Odessa right off the police scanner. And so and I believe that the reason they encrypted the channels here, they're going to take it for officer safety, but it's not for officer safety. It's because they're involved in organized crime. Because these people in the attic calls, this 50 other homeowners I've documented reporting people in the attic, recordings, scanner calls, emails, and all this that documented, that is the tip of the iceberg. And I would hear people in my attic when a truck would pull up. I have cameras out there, and I'd see this truck pull up, and then and all of a sudden, then the truck would drive off 30 minutes later, an hour later, and then I hear people in my attic again. I was 100% positive the people in my attic were going over, meeting the truckers, and then coming back. They were running like a truck stop, like a sex trafficking business. Through a tunnel under my home, up a wall, into my attic. And I don't think it's not just my home. I think all these other homes, and it's many of them. Like I said, I've documented all these other homes, and they've done the same. I've talked to some of these people. They can't see them on camera because they're hacking the cameras. It's the same things going on. And I think most of them, it's coming from a next door neighbor's house because that's the shortest path.